Where there's thunder, there's lightning. John Nada. Quick video today, and before I get into the content, I'd like to make a MGTOW channel recommendation, that of Human. That's lowercase h, lowercase u, uppercase MAN. A very good channel. I stumbled upon it about a week ago, and I basically binge watched every video that he has put up since then. He has a very rational way of explaining the MGTOW philosophy, so I encourage you to check it out. Today, really quickly, the thought came to mind, and we've brought it up on the channel before, but as I experience life more and more as I get older and older, MGTOW cannot be taught. It must be experienced. And that experience is learned, and the teacher of that experience is life. And I know for a lot of the younger guys, it has to be a difficult position to be in your early 20s, and you kind of have some realization of what's going on, but you haven't quite figured it out yet. I know, when I was in college, and of course prior to that, I was very blue pill, and I had no idea, as I was navigating the higher institutes of learning about any of this stuff, gynocentrism, hypergamy. I had no clue what was going on. I was completely in the dark. And I thought that women, for the most part, even though there were differences in the way that men and women think, and obviously biological differences, I thought that for the most part, women, looked for the same thing in a partner as a guy, and that women appreciated the same virtues that men appreciate. And it was not until really, even when I went into the military, that's really when I began to have that awakening, because I saw it more and more. I saw more men around me experience, divorce and being cheated on, and false allegations, and really saw the whole domestic dynamic of things in a way that I had never seen it before, because, now it was around me and the people that I knew and spent time with and called friends. And not only that, it was constantly pushed upon us at some point, at least once a month, that, basically we were all rapists because we all were men and we all had penises. And this whole, that's kind of when I really began to become familiar with the whole false rape thing, with the women not being able to consent while intoxicated. Yet the same argument of women not being in control of their mental and physical faculties while under the influence of alcohol would not apply if, say, the woman, were to be driving a vehicle and plowed into somebody. So, and it was also that when I think I mentioned in the strip clubs, because I had never really attended any of those prior to the military, where I began to see the hypergamous nature of women, that it wasn't just some women that were after your resources, but that really that whole AWOL thing began to make sense to me. And that was around about the time that I was introduced to the MGTOW forums and was reading more and more into the red pill and what the red pill was. And so I began to see that, of course I went through that period where I believed, well, I've just not met the right woman, or I've just not been meeting the right women. The whole unicorn phase where, okay, the vast majority of women are like this, but there's a small percentage of them that are not. And of course, we all know the reality of it is that all women are like that. It's just to what degree, and it's to what degree they're like that, and to what degree that they control those natural urges. But I say all that to say, these MGTOW channels are a great thing. There's something that I remember when I first started getting into it, there was only a handful, if that, a handful of them, if even that many. I know that Stardust and Barbarossa have been around for a long time, but now there is a plethora of channels, and some of them are better than others. Obviously, it's not that they're better than others; it's that the content is different. I think I mentioned the MGTOW Money channel on here not too long ago, and that channel doesn't really deal at all with gynocentrism, hypergamy, and all that sort of stuff. They have gone beyond that, and it's not that it's a better channel, but that it's just a different channel. It offers a different type of content, because we're all on our own path here, and we're all at various different destinations on that path. So I don't think that, one content channel doesn't fit all. My channel, I think, speaks to, a certain demographic that maybe another person might not get as much benefit out of. So we all offer something. It's all important content. It's all there, but I think that it's good to have it, especially for the younger guys out there who are just discovering a lot of this and trying to work these things out in their mind. Because I know for me, and then of course those that are older than me, they didn't even really have one MGTOW channel. It was kind of just stuff that they just, again, it goes back to that Morpheus. You sensed something was wrong. You didn't know what it was. It didn't have a name, but you could feel it. It was definitely there. And now we've named it, and we are deciphering the code at this point. I think it's very important for particularly the young MGTOW, but I think just in general, to find somebody to mentor you. Not necessarily in the MGTOW way of thinking or in the MGTOW philosophy, but just a mentor in general. Perhaps some of you maybe are musicians or take martial arts or any kind of like maybe hobby that you do, that you can focus on more than just the MGTOW content and the MGTOW philosophy and the manosphere in general. I think there needs to be other outlets for people, and finding a mentor to help you navigate life, make good decisions, somebody to midrash with, if you will, bounce ideas off of, and who will be honest with you about that. And in many ways, and I do have a mentor, and I'm very thankful that I was able to meet this particular individual many years ago and continue to have a close relationship with them. In many ways, it replaces, and in many ways, it's superior to any kind of perceived or delusional idea that you can do this with a woman, that you're going to have this woman by your side and she's going to be there in the dark of the night to discuss with you the ills and the trials and tribulations and the agony and ecstasy of life. In reality, I mean, most of the time when I tried to have those types of conversations and was hoping to get assistance in navigating and guiding life, most of the time they had very little to say, if anything at all, and very little to add content-wise that was helpful. And oftentimes at that moment we're planning their departure, because now you've shown vulnerability, now you've shown that you don't have it all together. So this idea that you're going to walk through life with a woman and they're going to help you figure things out and be there by your side and support you through the good and the bad. Well, they will support you through the good, but most likely will be absent for the bad. And this is why I think, the MGTOW content serves as kind of a virtual mentor. But this is why I think finding somebody, having somebody in your life as a mentor is of utmost importance. But that being said, you can teach concepts, but MGTOW must be experienced, because I would not have believed what I know now to be true had I not experienced it time and time again and could see the patterns and could see the history repeating itself. It goes from being a concept in an abstract realm to being the past, to being something you can go back and look at and even experience to some degree, even though it happened in the past. But that being said, a lot of times you can learn from others' mistakes and from others' experiences, and it does save you a lot of trouble in the long run. This has been the Days of Thunder. I am John Nada, and remember, you're free to do as you're told.